Okay, welcome back to another edition of Cantonese Studying. Hope everyone had a great week this week. We're going to keep going on with Ling Stories 1 today, so let's get right back into it. Okay, so it looks like we've got the screen share up. So just like we did last week, I want to go through chapters 2 and 3 again, just listen to them quickly. And then this week we're going to go through chapters 4 and 5 and then do some flashcard review. So let's just listen to chapters 2 and 3 one more time.
第二課返工。我每日7點半起身，差唔多8點就食早餐，大概8點3個字我就會搭地鐵返工。我公司喺中環，每日大概8點10就返到公司。我 boss 姓陳，係會計部經理，佢好好人，又成日教我哋嘢。會計部另外仲有3個同事，我哋成日一齊食晏，成日傾偈，所以我覺得喺呢間公司做得好開心。我哋公司係做文具入口批發嘅，大老細姓李，雖然佢都好好，但係佢個樣就比較嚴肅。
Okay, so remember this was the one that was about going to work, and so she's describing her coworkers, her boss, how they work, what they do together from day to day. So there were a couple of words there that I'm still not very comfortable with. There's dai koi, which is approximately. So in other dialogues that I've studied, I've learned, I believe it's dai yar, which is another word for approximately, but I haven't seen dai koi yet. So that one I'm still trying to get familiar with, as well as, let's see here, Lingoi. So Lingoi is kind of tripping me up because the ngoi here, I believe, is the same ngoi for foreign. And so every time I'm seeing ngoi, I'm kind of thinking foreign, but this together actually just means besides. Okay, so that's not too bad. If you're following along, we'll have to work together on doing some flashcard review, and this is something that I'm finding is really important to just reinforce the vocabulary that I'm picking up from dialogue to dialogue. So let's go to chapter 3. So chapter 3 was all about finishing work.
第3課放工。公司放5點半，通常我收5點9左右。放工之後，有時會參加一啲興趣班，好似英文、普通話、插花同埋手工藝之類。如果唔使上堂，我會同朋友去行街睇戲，或者返屋企幫阿媽煮飯。我哋屋企大概8點鐘食飯，食完飯之後，我會沖涼，跟住睇下電視，睇下書，或者溫習下英文同普通話咁。大概11點，我就會瞓覺。
Okay, so then chapter 4 is basically the opposite of chapter 3, where we're talking about what she does after work. So she mentioned that she sometimes participates in kind of hobbies or activities of interest, English, Mandarin. If she doesn't do any lessons, then sometimes she'll go see a movie, go help her mom cook. And then she mentioned some times when certain activities occur in the evening, like when she gets ready for bed and when she goes to bed. So that one's pretty good. I think that one's a little bit easier than the previous chapter. A lot of time words in this one that's starting to show up. I think the Hing Chai Ban is kind of cool because I've seen in Glossica and a couple other materials hing choi used for interest. So hing choi ban, and then ban is used for, like, I think sarang ban is to go to work, or I can't think of another one offhand, but it's just kind of cool to see that's like interest event or interest activity. So that makes sense. It's like a hobby class. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do for review, just to kind of refresh everyone, refresh myself where we're at with this story. So now we'll move on to chapter 5. Or chapter 4, rather. Here we go. So chapter 4 is breakfast and lunch. So 早餐同晏晝. So do is the same do as in Joseon, so good morning. Tan is like shorthand for a tantang, which is kind of like a little restaurant. Tong is used for and, so if you have a list of things, this and that and the other thing, then you can use tong to separate them. And then anzao is afternoon, so you can say like anzao tan, which would be also be lunch. So let's listen through it once, and then we'll go through the vocab.
第4課早餐同晏晝。媽咪每日都會煮早餐，通常係白粥、炒麵、炒河粉或者炒米粉。有時媽咪都會煮西式嘅火腿通粉或者三文治。我每日多數都會同會計部嘅同事一齊出去食晏，但係如果公司多嘢做，又或者天氣唔好，就會嗌飯盒喺公司食。我哋有時去酒樓食飯同點心，有時去大家樂，有時去快餐店食三文治，有時去粥麵鋪食粥或者麵，有時去麥當勞食漢堡包，有時去西餐廳食牛扒。如果日日都食飯，就真係太悶啦。
Okay, so this one is it's just describing different types of foods and whether it's foods they eat at home or where they go out to eat. So let's go through the vocab. There are a couple that you might have picked out that sound, they're basically borrowed words, so it sounds like names of brands that you might be familiar with. So let's just go through the list together. So 무이야. We might have seen that one in a previous chapter. I think this CLC site will always list the vocab even if you've already seen it in a previous chapter. So 무이야 is everyday, where yat is the character for day and 무이야 means everyday. You'll also see in Cantonese what they call, I believe it's called reduplication. It really just means repeating the character twice. And that can mean like every of something. So if you doubled the word for day, yat, and you say yat yat, that could mean every day. I don't have another good example offhand, but you'll see that often where the character's repeated twice, and then it means sort of like every of that thing. So that's another way you could say every day is yat yat. Okay, do, also. Ju, cook. Jotan, breakfast. Tongsang, usually. Bakjuk, plain kanji. So you may or may not have had juk before, or if you go to like a Chinatown, you might see it listed as kanji. It's like a rice porridge. It's really good, and there's different flavors of it. You can get it with different vegetables or meats. This one's bakjuk, so the bak is the color white, which is sort of the color of white rice, of plain rice. And so bakjuk really just means like plain kanji or plain juk, where there aren't any toppings. It's just the rice, which is it's plain. It's good if you're not feeling well and you just want something basic, or if it's cold and you just want something warm, then bakjuk is pretty good. So next one, mean. This is egg noodles, fun, rice noodles, hua fun is flat rice noodles. They're like kind of a wide strip, like a ribbon. Mai fun is another type of noodle. You'll see that several of the characters are repeating, and it's kind of just they're assembled in different ways. They mean different words or different types of food. Tao mean, so fried egg noodles. So tao is fried, so you can see tao in front of a lot of things to mean fried, whatever the thing is you're trying to say. You could say tao something. Tao hua fan, so fried flat rice noodles. These are all nouns that you may or may not need right away, but if you're going to learn nouns, food nouns are good ones to learn because you're gonna come across them all the time. So now wakze. This one is a really good phrase or word to use. It just means or. So there's another phrase for or that means, or another way to say or that's called dinghai. And wakze and dinghai are used differently. I may not be 100% on this. I may be wrong, but I believe wakze is used in statements and dinghai is used in questions. So if you want to say, do you want to go to this restaurant or that restaurant, then you could use dinghai. It's either that or it's the exact opposite and they're reversed, but it's basically two phrases for or, and they're used, one's used for a statement and one's used for question. Why don't we actually look that up and see if we can find that out in the dictionary or not. If not, I can look that up in the grammar book and address that later. So let's look up Chinese word. Oops. Let's just do this. So wakze. So or perhaps otherwise. If we click on that, it might give us a sample sentence. So we can go to the library or perhaps go home. So 我哋可以去 I forget, how do you say this? 圖書館. Okay, so library. 我哋可以去圖書館或者返屋企. So this is a statement. Maybe I'll pay by cash, maybe I'll pay by card. 我或者俾this is 現金. So 我或者俾現金或者 I don't know this word. Team cut, so pay by card. So this seems like statements. Let's go back and see what dinghai shows. So this means or as well. Okay, or used in questions giving a choice. So often abbreviated to ding. Right. So they probably have a couple questions. So here we go. This kind of ties back into our restaurant theme of this chapter. So do you want to eat beef or pork? 你想食牛肉定係豬肉啊？你想食牛肉定係豬肉啊？Do you want to eat beef or do you want to eat pork? Here's another one. Do you want to eat noodles or do you want to eat rice? Lei sung sik mean ding hai sik sik fan a. Lei sung sik mean ding hai sik fan a. Do you want to eat noodles or rice? Okay, so let's go back to the story. I hope that helps. I want to try to give some insight where I can with these so that it's not just us going through the same material in kind of a static, boring way each week. So if I see opportunity to call out something I think is interesting, I'm going to try to do so and try to bring a little more context to the individual dialogues. And then, through time, we'll do some other interesting things as well. I'm thinking about maybe either between each story. So after Ling's Stories 1, for example, but before we start the next story, maybe do a week where we either look at some YouTube videos together or just something to kind of mix it up a little bit. So, but for now, let's keep going on chapter 4 here. So we talked about wakze. So wakze is statement, the or, and using or as a statement in a sentence, versus dinghai is or in a question. Cao mai fun, fried rice noodles. Yao si, sometimes. Sai sik, western. So sai is west in the cardinal directions. So let's see. So just as another aside, the cardinal directions actually typically start in the east. China's in the east, so it makes sense, kind of eastern thinking. So rather than saying something like northwest, east and south, or northwest, southeast, you typically, like in the learning books, you'll hear a phrase that basically starts in the east and then goes clockwise. So east is dong, south is lam, west is sai, and the north is bak. So dong lam sai bak is east, south, west, north. So this is sai sik, western. Next one, this is one that made me laugh when we were listening to it, is the fa toi. I just learned this randomly. I wasn't studying, but one of my friends who's Cantonese speaking, actually I was with him in Hong Kong about 6 or 8 months ago, and this just came up randomly in a conversation. We were passing by some deli or something, and he mentioned fa toi's ham. Okay, so tung fun, macaroni. I did not know that one. It's new to me. Sam munji, sandwich. Okay, and then part 2, da so, mostly. Wui gai bo, accounts department. Tong si, colleague. Yat tai, together. Chut hai, go out. Sit an, have lunch. Sit an zao, have lunch. Dan hai, however. Yu guo, if. Da ye is many things. Zhou, to do. Tin hei, weather. Mho, not good. I, order. Oh, I didn't know that one at all. That's brand new to me. Fan hub. So lunchbox. So I've heard hup for box. This has a rising tone, which I thought hup was actually. Can I copy this? Let's try. These PDFs are kind of a little bit odd with the way the copying is set up. No, that didn't work. Let's just type it out. I think that's the one. Yeah. So here it's hup with a low tone. but I guess when you say fan hap, it rises. Sometimes you'll see that in Cantonese where the tone will change. Most of the time it changes to a rising tone, is at least from what I've seen so far. So fan hap, so rice box, literally means rice box, but here it means lunchbox. Okay, next, part 3, Zhao Lao, Chinese restaurant, dim sum. So dim sum, you may or may not have been to dim sum. Literally means like pointing at the heart, which is kind of nice when you think about it, when you know the meaning behind it. It's kind of like a heartfelt meal. Dai ga lo. So this is I would assume this is some chain. It says it's a chain, so I would assume it's some chain in Hong Kong. I've never heard of that. Fai Tan Dim. Fai Tan Dim. So it's a fast food shop. Samenji, sandwich again. Juk Min Po, juk shop or kanji shop. Juk kanji mean noodles. And then this is the one that was making me laugh. So McDonald's makes sense. It's kind of like a phonetic sounding word. Han Bo Bao, hamburger. Sai Tan Tang, so Western restaurant. Ngao Pa, steak. So cow, and then I don't know what pa means, but it means steak. Yat, each day. So that's kind of slightly different from what I said. I said it's basically every day, but here they mean each day, which maybe that's the same meaning, might be subtly different, but here they're saying it means each day. Zhen hai, really? So you'll hear that used sort of sarcastically sometimes as well. It's pretty funny. It's a fun word to learn. And then tai mon, boring. Okay. Okay, cool. So now let's do what we've done in the previous week's episodes, and we'll kind of go section by section, read it together, and then listen to it one more time, and then we'll go on to the next chapter. Okay, so part 1. 媽咪每日都會煮早餐. So mom every day will make breakfast. 通常係白粥、炒麵、炒河粉或者炒米粉. So usually making bak juk, so the white kanji or plain kanji, chao mein, fried noodles, chao hua fan, another type of noodle, wak or chao mai fan. So I think there the wak means basically one of those. You could interpret that, I guess, to mean always the juk. Yeah, I can't tell if some of these are always and then only the last two are the either or if it means like one out of the list. Probably one out of the list. Okay, and then yao si. So sometimes 媽咪都會煮西式嘅火腿通粉. Oh, okay. So sometimes she makes like a Western style ham, like ham and macaroni, I guess. I would assume maybe that's like a popular thing. I don't know. I feel like my wife has mentioned that's a common, like a ham and macaroni soup is a common dish. I don't know if I've ever had that, but I could see that. we definitely have at home. We definitely have spam from time to time. That's pretty tasty, like spam and mac and cheese or something, or just fried spam with like eggs in the morning. So one thing I wanted to point out in this sentence is the use of ge. So my understanding is you can use ge in a couple ways. You could use it for emphasis sometimes at the end of sentences, but you can also use it, like probably more commonly, you can use it for possession. So if you remember, the word for me or I is ngo. So if you want to say something like my car is te. So my car, as in the car that I own or the car that I use, would be ngo ge te. And then sometimes it seems like the ge can be omitted and it's still understood to be like an ownership thing. So you could say, I don't know if this is correct, by the way, because I don't really know the rule for like when you can drop the ge for possession, but you could say ngo te. So sometimes the ge is there, sometimes it's not. I don't actually know the rule yet, but the reason I brought it up was in this sentence, see, it's saying sai sik ge fa toi. So it's basically, I guess it's less possessive in this case and more that it's just linking these two phrases together. So it's saying Western style and linking that to the fa toi tung fan. So the ham and macaroni, and then by connecting it this way, they're saying it's like a Western style ham and macaroni. So that's how you can use the ge to kind of link those two. So you've got the, basically the Western style, you've got the ham and macaroni, and then you put the ge to link them together. And that actually just made something click for me as well. I was trying to understand what the sik was doing there. So let's go back up to that. So this just says Western, and sai sik. I was trying to remember what sik, how that would translate for Western, but I think this is the same sik as in fun sik, which means style. So let's go back to that. Go back to our dictionary. Fun sik. So the second one, I believe this is style or fashion. Okay, and sik by itself can mean style as well. So that's kind of cool because it's so logical to me with some of these things. Like it's literally like Western, like West style. So Western. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm entertaining myself at least. Okay, let's move on. So sometimes she makes the Western style dish, or wakze samanji, or sandwiches. So that's another case where I don't know if it's implied that the sandwich is also Western style, is also Western. So in other words, is sai sik ge fa toi tung fan wakze samanji. Here in the English parallel text that they have, I guess it's also not clear there, but I'm going to take another note on that. We did have a note from last week, by the way, and I haven't found the answer for it yet. It was how mei for the end of something and how to use that in a sentence. But I haven't forgotten about that. I haven't closed on that one and figured out what the answer is yet. So bear with me here. I'm going to pull up the list that I have, and I'll just add this question about this complex sentence here and see if it means that it's a Western sandwich or if it's just a sandwich. So this is Ling's Stories, chapter, I guess 4.2, part 1, and I want to know, let's see here, I want to know sai sikge phó thủy thông粉 phó thủy thông粉 或者三文治. And what we want to know about that is, does the Western apply to sandwich or just to the ham and macaroni? Okay, so we'll build up this list of questions, and then in a future stream or on the blog, we'll get those answered. Oh, now that I mentioned the blog, let me just mention that I'm going to start putting in the description for these videos a bunch of social media. So I have a site, rtbeach.com, that I've started really recently, last couple days. So there's not much content yet, but it'll be filling up soon, where I want to talk a little bit more long form about some of the various Cantonese things we're talking about. And then I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. Again, both of those are new, but I'll start plugging them more once there's once there's actually some interesting content for you guys to make use of. But the handles will be in the description for the videos, so if you want to pick that up at a later date, feel free to follow me and let me know. You can send me questions there as well, or answers actually. If you have answers for some of my questions, that'd be great. Okay, so that was section 1. Next section, or part 2. 我每日多數都會同會計部嘅同事一齊出去食晏. Okay, well, that's kind of a mouthful. So every day I I basically usually will mostly basically with the accounts department, my coworkers in that department. So most days I'll go with my colleagues together to eat lunch. 但係 but 如果 but if 公司多嘢. So if however, if there's a lot to do at work, 仲有或者天氣 or the weather 唔好 is not good, 就會 so then we'll 嗌飯盒喺公司食. Oh, okay, so 嗌飯盒, so order a lunchbox. So I'm assuming that's like delivery. I wonder if you can use I for like ordering at a restaurant, or if that's more like for delivery. That's pretty cool. So then we'll eat at the office. 我哋有時去酒樓食飯同點心. So we'll sometimes go to a Chinese restaurant to eat lunch and dim sum. 有時去大家樂. So sometimes go to this chain restaurant. 有時去快餐店. So sometimes go to fast food. 食三文治 to have sandwiches. 有時去粥麵鋪. Sometimes we'll go to this like kanji shop. 食粥或者麵. So have kanji or noodles. 有時係麥當勞食漢堡包. So sometimes we'll go to McDonald's and have a hamburger. 有時係西餐廳食牛扒. Sometimes we'll go to like a Western restaurant and have steak. 如果日日都食飯就真係太悶啦. So if every day if you have rice every day, then you're going to be really bored. Basically just saying like she likes variety. Now sikfan is a general term to mean like a meal. So if you want to call your friends or family over to the table, you finish the meal and you want to tell them it's time to eat, you can say sikfan. Or at the table to kind of like tell everyone feel free to start eating, you can say sikfan. But it also means literally eat rice. And I think in this case she means literally eat rice. So like if you have the same type of meal every day, you're going to be bored. I think she's saying that like that's how I'm interpreting it, because she's listing all the variety of things above. So this is kind of a nice chapter because it's all about food, which is common vocab, good to know, not too difficult. So let's go ahead and listen to that one more time, and then we'll keep going.
第4課早餐同晏晝。媽咪每日都會煮早餐，通常係白粥、炒麵、炒河粉或者炒米粉。有時媽咪都會煮西式嘅火腿通粉或者三文治。我每日多數都會同會計部嘅同事一齊出去食晏，但係如果公司多嘢做，又或者天氣唔好，就會嗌飯盒喺公司食。我哋有時去酒樓食飯同點心，有時去大家樂，有時去快餐店食三文治，有時去粥麵鋪食粥或者麵，有時去麥當勞食漢堡包，有時去西餐廳食牛扒。如果日日都食飯，就真係太悶啦。
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. Yeah, so it seems like if I were to say one vocab word out of that list that this chapter was about, it definitely seems like it was about wakze, because they showed several different ways that can be strung together in a sentence, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know if I have much more to say about that one. So I guess yaosi, there are a number of different words for frequency, like saying yet. It's like always or all day. Yaosi sometimes. I think we just saw tongsang usually. So those are kind of nice because I feel like just practicing those is a good way to sound more sophisticated in your speaking, because you can kind of specify a frequency for some activity you're doing, rather than I do this, I do that, I don't do this. You can sort of say how often you do something. I'm trying to think. I've forgotten now. So I guess never is chongloi. Let's double check that. It's been a while since I've used that. As I said a couple streams ago, one of my biggest weaknesses right now is I don't do much speaking other than at home with my wife. And it doesn't exist. Maybe this is not the right character. Oh, I think it might be 2. Let's type the English. No, not that one. I wish I could remember the keyboard shortcut for this. There we go. Yeah, between my home computers and work computers, I'm I'm on 3 operating systems, so I'm often forgetting which keyboard shortcut to use for what. Okay, so Chong. That was correct. Chong Loi. So that means ever followed by a negative. Okay, so I'm not very familiar with the use of that one, but that's another example of frequency where basically you can use it to mean never, which would be like the opposite of always. Okay, so that was chapter 4. Let's move on to chapter 5 now. Okay, and chapter 5 is afternoon tea and midnight snack, so kind of a related chapter, similar to the one we just did. Okay, so let's listen to it once first. I kind of go back and forth on whether to read first, look at the vocab first, or listen first, but I kind of am falling in the side of it's good to listen to it once first, because you'll kind of never get that you'll never get that initial listen opportunity again, kind of with a blank slate, once you've read it. So it's kind of like free extra practice to just listen to it once blind without really knowing anything about it. And you won't get all of it. I definitely am not getting a lot of it the first time we're listening to these together, but it's kind of like another way to practice. You just listen to it first, then you can go read, then listen to it again. That seems to be working pretty well for me so far. So let's go ahead and start this one.
第5課下午茶同宵夜。香港人除咗早餐、晏晝同晚飯，有啲人都會食下午茶或者宵夜。如果我嗰晚好夜瞓，覺得肚餓，我都會食宵夜。間唔中，同事會嗌下午茶，我哋會嗌檸檬茶、奶茶、咖啡，另外都會嗌一啲小食，好似薯條、雞翼、三文治同米粉咁。我好鍾意食零食，平時會買啲零食擠喺公司，大概每日下晝4點鐘左右，我都會食啲零食，好似餅乾、朱古力、牛肉乾、豬肉鬆之類。
Okay, so there I tried not to read any of it, just listen, and I got probably half of it, I would say. There's a lot of vocab for different foods. She's talking about basically the title of the chapter, like going out for lunch or late night snack. So let's go through the vocab now. So Hong Kong Yan. So Hong Kong is how you say Hong Kong in Cantonese. It literally means fragrant harbor. And then you can just put the description of the country or the place in front of the character Yan for person to mean like a person from that place. So you could say, so I'm from America, so you could say Mei Guang Yan would be an American or an American person. You can use that with any sort of place. 除咗 apart from. Okay, that's brand new to me. 早餐 breakfast. 晏晝 afternoon, lunch. 晚飯 dinner. So 晚 here is evening. So it's basically evening meal or evening rice. 晚飯 means dinner. 下午茶 is afternoon tea. 宵夜 midnight snack. 如果 if 嗰晚 that evening. 好夜 so very late. So yeah means like late evening or night. Fun is to sleep, so fun or fun gao is to sleep. 覺得 feel or think. 头饿, hungry. So that's a good one to learn in your first 100 words. Learn how to say you're hungry, and you'll be fed. 간좀, occasionally. 동시, colleague. That was from last chapter as well. I order 檸檬茶, lemon tea. So cha is tea, and this is another one of those borrowed words which is phonetic sounding. Sounds like the word, so ling-mung sounds like lemon. Lai cha, milk tea. In this case, that's what it literally means by itself too, milk and tea. Lai cha. Café, coffee. Lingoi, besides. Yatti, some. Siusek, snack, so a little or lesser eating means snack. That makes sense. Ho tea, similar. So you'll see a phrase sometimes, ho tea, something, yet yarn, which means like the same. Shi tiu, French fries. So that means, so she, I believe the kind of standard way, so she is part of the word for potato, and so you can say it two ways. If you want to just say potato, the standard written Chinese way, which would be kind of the way you would see written in most books or articles, and it's kind of patterned after Mandarin. The Cantonese pronunciation with that, for that, I believe, would be ma ling shi, is potato. The way you might more commonly hear that in Cantonese would be shi zai. So let's look those both up. Ma ling shi. So potato, ma ling shi. And then the more sort of spoken way you would probably hear it would be shi zai, which also means potato. And here's a cool thing with this particular dictionary, the Cantonese Chic dictionary. You'll see this here, the meaning. It'll actually tell you if it's Cantonese used or both, or Mandarin used. So in this case, xizai, they're saying this is a spoken way to say it. You know, you can write any of this down, of course, but you're not likely to see this written down anywhere formal like an article or a newspaper. Versus ma ling shi. This one says Mandarin Standard Written Chinese only. So in this case, it's actually like specifically Mandarin, versus a lot of times with common words, mo for I or me. Let's just look at, so these are all standard only, but typically, oh, it's because I'm searching for word. So I want to just search for the character in law. So here is a case where the character is used in both. So I think I mentioned this in the first video. I just wanted to pull that up again. Okay, and then the other reason I brought it up is tiu is like a stick-like thing, I believe. It's another one of those particles. So it's like potato stick, basically. So it's just really cool to me, the more I'm getting into this, that that these compound words, really, you can sort of guess them eventually. I can't guess them right now, but eventually you can sort of guess them by their constituent characters. So Okay, so tiu is like a long, narrow piece, which makes sense. It's like pieces of potato or long strips of potato. Okay, so let's moving on, keep going here. Gaiek, chicken wing. Salmonzi, sandwich. Mai fun, fried rice noodles. Gum, and so on. Zhengyi, to like. Ling, sick, junk food. This is funny because we talked about how sick means to eat. So Ling is actually the character for zero. So as in, it's junk food because there's like zero benefit to eating it. That's my definition. I don't know if that's the reasoning behind it, but it makes sense to me. Zero food is junk food. Pingzi, ordinarily. Dai hai, to put something somewhere, to put in. Gongsi, company. Dai koi, about or approximately. We saw that one several times. Muya, every day. Ha zao, afternoon. So you're seeing some synonyms here in that we saw an zao, now we're saying ha zao. They both mean afternoon. Bang gone, biscuit. Chocolate, chocolate. Ngao yuk gone, beef jerky. Ji yuk sung, crispy minced pork. Ji lai, etc. And then I guess that's the last of it. So part 1, 2, 3. Okay, so again, this one's pretty good. There's a lot of specific nouns here, so not all of these will be useful to learn right away. So when I start coming across these in Anki, I'll probably disable some of them. But some of them are just kind of nice because they're, like I said a minute ago, they're pretty easy. If you already know the underlying characters, it's not that difficult to figure out what it means. Like ngao yuk. We already learned that on a previous stream, I think last week. So that means cow meat, which is beef. And gone means dry. So it's basically like dried beef, so beef jerky. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So they kind of build on each other, which is pretty nice. Okay, so let's listen to that one more time. We're about the 50-minute mark, so then once we do this chapter, or listen to it one more time, then I want to move over to flashcards, and we'll finish up this week's stream with some more review. Okay, so one more time. Let's get down to the actual dialogue. Here we go. So now this time, first time I listened to it without looking, this time I'm going to listen and kind of follow along and read at the same time so I can hopefully catch a little bit more.
So we're starting here. 香港人除咗早餐、晏晝同晚飯，有啲人都會食下午茶或者宵夜。如果我嗰晚好夜瞓，覺得肚餓，我都會食宵夜。間唔中，同事會嗌下午茶，我哋會嗌檸檬茶、奶茶、咖啡，另外都會嗌一啲小食，好似薯條、雞翼、三文治同米粉咁。我好鍾意食零食，平時會買啲零食擠喺公司，大概每日下晝4點鐘左右，我都會食啲零食，好似餅乾、朱古力、牛肉乾、豬肉鬆之類。
Okay, so I realized about halfway through that we didn't actually read these out together, so let's do that as well. Because I find breaking it down helps cement what the meaning is. I caught a little bit more there, but in the middle of this I still got a little bit lost. You kind of have to follow along with the flow, but I definitely find that there are times where I'll get caught up on a particular word that maybe I know, but it takes a second for me to register it, and then it's very easy to kind of fall behind. So that's pretty normal. So let's read through this first, and then we'll do the Anki flashcards. So part 1, 香港人除咗早餐、晏晝同晚飯. So they're saying for Hong Kong people, kind of in addition to or besides or apart from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 早餐、晏晝同晚飯. 有啲人, some people, or there are people, 都會食下午茶. So there are people who will also have afternoon tea, 或者宵夜, or late night snack. From the little bit I know about Hong Kong, from the few times I've been there, it definitely seems like, you know, the average person is probably working fairly late quite often. And so it just seems like there's this whole economy based on lots of really delicious restaurants that are also open pretty late. So I think that's a pretty common thing, is to have late night meals because you're out working late, so you're already up and you're hungry. So okay, so 如果我今晚好夜瞓, so if that night I sleep late, I guess if I go to, the English says I go to sleep late. So if I'm going to go to sleep late that night, then 覺得肚餓 and feel hungry, then 我都會食宵夜. So then I'll also eat a late night snack. 間唔中 sometimes 同事會嗌下午茶，我哋會嗌檸檬茶. So sometimes my coworker will order afternoon tea, and we'll order 檸檬茶, 奶茶, 咖啡. So we'll order lemon tea, milk tea, and coffee. 另外都會嗌一啲小食，好似薯條. So they're kind of basically saying that, like, in addition to that, or besides that, then we'll order like a little bit of something, and the hochi is like similar. So it's basically, I guess they're saying such as, so kind of like for example, I think. There's another phrase I learned for example, called 譬如, which also is for example, so I wonder if those are interchangeable or not. 譬如. And here's where I don't know what the character is for 譬如. I'm going to guess that one. 譬如, yeah, for example. Okay, so might be just sort of a synonym. You could use either one. Here they're using hoti, which I've seen used a lot for like just comparison to say two things are similar. So for example, 薯條, French fries, 雞翼, chicken wings. That sounds pretty good right now. Some nice fried chicken wings. 三文治, sandwich, 同埋 sorry. This is 同埋粉. So and this rice noodle, 同埋粉 gum. So gum is just like and on or so forth. So this is a case where, as I'm reading this to you, reading it out loud, the Yuping, the translation or romanization here kind of tripped me up, because I was thinking about tongmai, which is the long way to say and. I don't know if we've seen that yet, but tong is actually a shorthand. You could say tongmai to also mean and. But if I had been reading the characters instead of the yukping over here, you can see sam man ji tong mai fun. So this is rice. So there'd be no confusion there if I was reading the characters. But usually on stream, I like to read the yukping just because I have a chance of reading it a little bit faster, so you guys aren't sitting here watching me stumble through reading the characters. I'm learning more characters each day, but it's a long-term investment. It's going to take time to be really precise or kind of really feeling comfortable with those. Okay, and then finally part 3. 我好鍾意食零食. Uh-oh, so she really likes to eat junk food. 平時會買啲零食仔喺公司. So she'll usually or ordinarily she'll buy some and kind of stash it at her office. 大概每日, so about every day, 下晝4點鐘. So every day about 4 p.m. 左右, 4點鐘左右. So there's another way to say more or less or approximately 左右, left and right. 我都會食啲零食，好似, and then 好似 she's using for example again, and she's going to list off all the junk food she likes to eat. So 好似餅乾, biscuit, 朱古力, chocolate, 牛肉乾, beef jerky, 豬肉鬆, crispy minced pork. So that one seems like the odd one out to me. Like the rest of them I'm all on board with, but I don't know what kind of snack she's talking about with crispy minced pork. If you know, send me a link in the comments, please. I'd be interested to see. Maybe I'll Google that afterwards. See what kind of a snack you would get with crispy minced pork. And then 之類 for etc. So you'll see I'm starting to pick up on definitely some of the words that I'm not familiar with that I should really practice. Not so much the nouns, those will come, but these little connecting words that are really, really interesting. So apart from 除咗, 如果, if is a good one. That's one I'm pretty familiar with now, but that's a good one to know. There was another one that we just saw. Gum is a good one. That's kind of just a filler word. What was it? So 之類, I guess, etc. Yeah. So I think those are the ones that I'm picking up from this dialogue I really need to practice. So getting familiar with 之類 and getting familiar with, just combining these in different ways so that it's not so surprising when I hear it read through, because for this dialogue, a lot of this vocab I know, but there's a difference between knowing the individual words and being able to hear them in practice when you hear a dialogue. So anyway, we will switch over now and do a couple minutes of flashcard review, and then we will be done for the day. So goodbye, Ling Stories 1. We're going to do some flashcards. And yeah, by the way, if you're interested in getting help on how to set up Anki for flashcards, or like the process of doing that, what to do, what to avoid, please let me know and I will be more than happy to help. Anki is really powerful, but it's also complex in that you can do all sorts of things. And I think for the average person, it's a little bit much to deal with. There are other tools you can use as well, like Memrise or What's another one? There's a million different flashcard apps, so by no means do you have to use Anki. There's a bunch of them out there. I just like it because you can do anything. So you can set up, all sorts of photos or interesting stuff in your flashcards. Okay, so let's get started.
平時
Ping C. So we just saw that. That was usually or ordinarily.
左右
左右. This was like plus or minus, like approximately. Yep. This is 원자보, like an exercise book. Not as in physical education, but as in like reviewing your exercises.
快餐店
Faitandim. Fast food, right? So we saw the McDonald's, and the other Faitandim, fast food places. I believe that was chapter 4.
後尾
How may. This was at the end of something. Behind.
幾次
Gaiti. So, how often or many? How many times? Several times. Okay, so
慢慢
man. So slowly.
手工藝
手工藝. 手工藝. I think we did this on stream, but I don't remember. 手工 is work. Let's listen to it one more time.
手工藝
手工藝. So if it's 手 as in hand, 手工藝 doesn't really help. It's not 手工, which would be finishing work. I forget what the 藝 is. Oh, hand working thing. Let's see what this character is. This means handicrafts. 手工藝. Anki is also a good way, like these flashcards, to just practice reading out loud and speaking out loud. So make sure you're doing that at home. Just speak into a room by yourself. It's okay. 手工藝. You just kind of want to imitate the native speaker. In this case, with the flashcards, it's computer voice, but any material you might have that has actual recorded voices, just mimicking them is pretty important. I started doing some Glossica again. It's another program I might speak on in a later video, but it's a lot of just kind of mimicking, listening and mimicking. So this is art. Okay, so hand work, art, kind of. Makes sense. Handicrafts.
幾次
Gaiti, so several times.
幾次
Sigmat, food.
食物打機
Dake. This is like to play video games. To supervise. This was this Guanlei? Guanlei.
管理
There's Ginglei. There's Ginglei is a manager, right? There's several of these that are very similar that keep tripping me up because they're very similar sounding. Ginglei. Ginglei is manager. You can see it's the same lei. Guanlei. Guanlei is to supervise, and then there's also how do you say it? It's kilometer. Now I'm drawing a blank on how kilometer says. Is it Gonglei? I think it's Gonglei. Oh, it didn't show up here. Let's try the other dictionary. I think it's Gonglei for kilometer. Yeah, Gonglei. So you've got Gonglei, Guanlei, and ginglei they're all somewhat similar. In reality, they're different, but it can sound similar if you're learning them at the same time.
手工藝
So gongai, so handicrafts. Difficult, not.
難
Wholesale. Something pi. I don't remember. Pi fa.
批發
I'm gonna suspend this one for now. Is this Yang Sang? Is this like to develop a habit? Form a habit, yeah.
養成
Yang Sang. That was kind of hard. Pak to, to date. Pak to.
拍拖
Okay. I should know this one, but I don't. Is this Goa? Oh, Geek Goa. Result.
結果
Geek Goa, like the result of a test. What was the result? So you could say, how would you say that? Let's think about that. How would you say, do you know the result yet? So 你知道結果未啊? So 知道 is to know. 結果 is the result. And then 未 is like the character or the word for yet. So I think you could say 你知道結果未啊? Don't quote me on that. But I think that's how you could say that. To put 在海 or 在海
西喺
在海, so it's the hai for location, not the hai as in hi, yes, no. It's or state of being. It's hai, 在海.
西喺
Electric heater, 電暖爐.
電暖爐
電暖爐. So electric, warm, and this is like, it's like a device, or 煮食爐, or yeah, 煮食爐. So cook food burner. It's like a portable, like a gas burner. To receive, 燒.
So
Rarely. Was this the Ganzhong?
間中
Yeah, and so we learned something similar in the dialogue that I was thinking about, because I thought that Ganzhong was like rarely, but we learned a different version of this that meant sometimes, I think. Let's see if I can quickly find it. If not, I'll just take a note. Oh, here we go. Ganzhong. So that's kind of strange because ganzhong this is saying it already means rarely or occasionally. And if you say ganzhong, it also means rarely. Ganzhong, rarely, occasionally. And then ganzhong. Let me just type it. Zhong. Sometimes, every now and then. You have to think about that, if that makes sense to me or not. If it's kind of the opposite, but to me it feels like it's the same sort of meaning. Okay, so let's keep going. To put 在海. Oh no. See, so here's a case where I'm just going a little bit too fast and didn't read it closely enough, but to put or place, to release, is fong.
Fong.
So we'll get back to that one. This is chanpai. This is like a menu, restaurant menu. Chanpai.
餐牌
Chanpai. So it's a falling tone. tan pai. I was saying pai was a rising tone, but it's actually tan pai. To teach. Gao.
Gao.
This is lang tie. It's like an actual tie that you wear.
Ling tai.
Stationary. This was a mun goi, something like mun goi. Mun goi.
文具
Okay. Tan. It's like a restaurant. Meal. Okay. Makes sense. Office worker. This is one that I always seem to get wrong. It's Jit-yun, I think. No, Mun-yun.
文員
Okay, there's another one, Jit-yun, that feels like it should be office worker, but I think it's actually something else. Is it like a... Oh no, it is office worker. Okay. Staff member. So I think these are just synonyms. Jit-yun and Mun-yun. Okay, but if you had told me this was not the Jit-yun one, I would have forgotten. I wouldn't have known it was Mun-yun as the other one. So I'm going to mark again for that. To place, release, free is Fong.
放
Every day, Mui Yat. Or Yat Yat. Okay.
日日
Oh goodness, I don't remember this one at all. So this is Phi, maybe? Oh, Joy. Guilt.
誰
Joy. Joy. Okay, skip that. Mongkok is Wongkok.
旺角
Okay. Sao Yat is the first day.
首日
So I know that because Sao Sin is like first. Sao Sin. First of all, in the first place. You can use Sin by itself to mean first as well. So I could just say like after you, Lei Sin, you first, Lei Sin. But Sao Sin is another way to put this in a sentence. So Sao Yat was first day. Mun Yun.
文員
Blank paper. So this is literally white paper. So give you 5 seconds. Think about what white paper should mean. Okay, so it should be bak zi.
白紙
Yep. Okay. And then star celebrity. Star is sing. I think it's something like Ming Ba is to understand. I think it's the Ming, like well known or understood. So I think it's like Ming Sing. It's either Ming Sing or Sing Ming. I'm going to say Ming Sing. Yeah,
明星
that was good. This is Wen Guai. Wen Guai is like a cupboard.
碗櫃
Wen Guai.
打機
Da gaze, play video game.
打機
Yep. And don't remember this one. Something Zhong. Zhong. Focus. Oh, okay. Focus.
集中
Zhong. Evening meal. Man fan.
晚飯
This is Lot Hao. So Lot as in Lot Yu, raining. So fall, and then Hao is same Hao as in Ji Hao, which is before. Or no, I'm sorry. It's Ji Hao is after. Ji Tin is before. So this is like falling behind as in like you're falling behind the group, or you're falling behind in technology. Yeah, backwards. Yeah, makes sense.
落後
落後，落後，
幾次
幾次 several times. 頭獎 is like the head prize, which would be like the top prize.
頭獎
Mandarin 普通話。
普通話
Okay, and then this will be our last one. This is 電台。
電台
Okay, so electric and then channel is how you could say like radio station or radio channel. So character for electric, and then electric channel. Cool. Okay, so let's sync that. Okay. So back to the full screen. Yeah, so I think we made pretty good progress today. Hopefully some of those insights on how the different words are constructed or comprised of simpler words helps. I'm pretty happy with the progress we made today. There's a lot of really cool background on some of the words that we looked into. So we're just going to keep it going. We're going to keep trying to do at least 2 chapters of Ling Stories 1 per week. We've got a couple more chapters, and then we'll be done with that. And then we'll maybe spend a week trying to do some check-in with some YouTube videos and see how much of a YouTube video we could understand, where we're at. I am working on a longer-term schedule for which things we're going to go after next. So I'll show that actually in 2 weeks. So next week I'll be traveling for the holidays. I won't be streaming. I'll send a message on YouTube just to let everyone know. And then I'll see you again on 12/29. So right before the end of the year. We're really close to 2020, so pretty exciting. So thanks again if you're watching out there. Please send me a message, comment on YouTube, check out my Twitter, Instagram, or my blog. They'll be linked down in the description for this video and all future videos. So thanks again for checking out this Cantonese studying, and we'll talk again later. Thanks. Bye.